the power rankings, and we start obviously at the top, where obviously the Kansas City Chiefs are number one after winning back-to-back Super Bowls. They're going to be the favorite, Pete, to three-peat. The draft class was really good for them. I think my biggest question for you, when you look at this class in totality, what do you think helps them more? The addition of Xavier Worthy with that first-round pick, or the depth that they got on that offensive line in terms of the draft class that they put together in Kansas City?
A combination of both. I said this earlier. We were talking about the Chiefs and being number one. Last year was the year to get them. I mean, that was not a good Chiefs team. It got hot at the right time, but they were gettable. You know, the defense was really good. I get it. And they have a lot of those pieces back. L'Jarius Sneed's not one of them. He's gone, but they'll still be fine in the secondary. But if you were going to get the Chiefs last year with the way the offense played for much of the season and the way Patrick Mahomes played, it wasn't vintage Patrick Mahomes. So I think that was the year to get him. I like their draft, by the way. I think Worthy gives them that speed element. The left tackle from BYU, they thought about, somebody told me they considered him in the first round, which would have been interesting. Wiley is a tight end from TCU I love, and then Hicks. Those guys were on my better than team, both of them. I think both of them will end up being starters clearly down the road for Wiley. But you know when he came out, I said this I think on another show, but I might have said it on your podcast before too, is the guy, when Wiley came out, you know what he ran at the Combine? 4.62. You know who else ran 4.62 at the Combine? Travis Kelce.
Ooh, way to tie it all together, Prisco. Let me ask you this, though, because it seems like the Chiefs' biggest question mark this year is very similar to what their biggest question mark was last year, and that really feels like the receivers. Yes, Xavier Worthy, fastest 40 in Combine history. You know whose record he broke? John Ross. You know what John Ross did in the NFL? Nothing. And we've seen historically where these speed guys, that doesn't necessarily translate to success in the NFL. So are you worried about the receiving core at all? They might not have Rashee Rice. We still don't know. We don't know how well Hollywood Brown's going to fit in the offense. And then you have a rookie. So it does feel like we don't really know what to make of the Chiefs receiving core just yet.
By the way, Tyreek Hill, when it comes to speed guys, says hello, Breach. Let's not forget about him. A little guy who could run.
You know who else? You know who says hello? Is Patrick Mahomes, who was drafted one pick after the Bengals took John Ross. Nice job there by your Bengals, Breach.
Yeah, I mean, look, as long as Patrick Mahomes is playing quarterback, they'll figure it out. And now they have speed. You know, Hollywood Brown can run. Worthy can run. We don't know how many games Rice is going to miss. He's going to miss some, but we don't know how many he's going to miss. And you still have Kelce in that offense. Don't worry about the Chiefs. Look, 2 years ago, you worried about the receivers, and they won it. Last year, rightfully so, you worried about the receivers, and they won it. Don't worry about them. They'll be fine because of Patrick Mahomes.
Is it okay to be worried about left tackle? Donovan Smith last year. Now you're breaking in a new left tackle. Maybe that's a little bit bigger than the receiving issues and maybe not so much talked about. But, hey, that's a key spot. Are you worried about that, Prisco?
Yeah, they won a Super Bowl with bad tackle play across the board last year, because they didn't get great play from the right tackle either. Taylor didn't play that well. And then you go to the left side, and he was bad and had a lot of penalties. And yet they still were able to score enough points when they needed to score and win a Super Bowl. So they'll figure it out. Andy Reid's too good a coach, and Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback who ever played.
Oh, I don't disagree. I think it's very similar to, talk about the Patriots and how they were able to sort of get to the postseason, figure it out, and then Tom Brady and Gronk or whoever else it was would just turn it on. And that's sort of what you have from the Kansas City Chiefs these days.